Yoli, the discovery. Meet Yolis, the yellow unicorns. Hello, dear friend, we are Yoli. We are your own light ignited. Do you know where you can find us? Follow us on our new adventures to find out. Now I was ready to face the shadows. I knew what I needed to think of, so I was barely waiting for the next dream. I closed my eyes and imagined how beautiful it would be to make another field trip, to get all the information we need for the homework. I haven't even noticed when I fell asleep, but I woke up full of energy and enthusiasm and ready for a new adventure. It wasn't hard at all to convince Yolis to make another trip. We put all we needed in our backpacks. We even took a map and a compass in order not to get lost if we were to lose the GPS signal. The weather was stunning. All the dark clouds were gone and the sun was shining and keeping us warm. On our way, we stopped to admire the scenery. First of all, we were surprised by the fantastic colors of the butterflies. They looked like rainbows with wings. We couldn't believe our eyes how beautiful they were. After watching them, we made a few drawings and photos and we kept going. Soon we came across a field of flowers. They smelled so delightful. We stopped to inhale their extraordinary perfume. I think only the bees were happier than us. Mesmerized by the perfume, we lay down on the grass. The grass was soft and velvety. It was a pleasure to feel its touch. Suddenly, many birds started to sing. Their song was so beautiful and calming that we fell asleep without noticing. We woke up hungry and thirsty, so we ate and drank before walking again. We needed to strengthen our forces. The apple that I ate was the best apple I ever tasted. I'll always remember how juicy and sweet it was. We checked our map, used the compass for orientation, and we went along. Everything was so exciting. After we climbed and crossed high hills, we were now on the plain field. It was wide. It seemed we had a long way to go. The soil got withered and scorched, and we reached the desert. We continued our journey through the sand dunes, and we got drowsy under the hot, burning sun. Then we passed through some kind of forest with some very odd trees. When we got out of the woods, we stumbled across a river. It was nice to cool ourselves after all that heat and dust. On the other side of the river, the jungle began. We went through the jungle hanging from vines. I was a little scared to fly like this, but it didn't stop me. And when we got out of the jungle, we were on the edge of the canyon. It was not possible to go down on the cliff, so we jumped. We were floating through the air. We were flying without the vines, but I wasn't afraid anymore. Down on the canyon's valley, everything seemed fantastic. The river we went through was descending into a waterfall, and we could see the place where we had to arrive. We started to climb the rock wall. We reached for the sharp rocks and supported ourselves on the way up. Finally, we were at the destination, and that place was more impressive than I imagined. We started to observe nature. Yoli took out the atlas to be able to recognize the plants. Yoli took out the tablet and took pictures of those plants, and I went scouting the surroundings. I was always amazed by something new, by trees, bushes, birds, grass, flowers. But what I saw behind the bushes was truly unique. I was in awe. I called the other Yolis and we were all mesmerized. We looked all over the botanical atlas. I took out my notebook and verified all my notes. We used the tablet to go on the internet, but we couldn't find anything that might resemble what we saw. Those mushrooms were giant and had some pointy ends. We wondered what they were called. So we started to work on it. We drew them and took pictures. We measured them and wrote descriptions of them. We even set the GPS coordinates for that place so we could tell exactly where we found them. It was extraordinary to present our findings in front of our classmates. We used the photos and even made a map. We used the projector to present all this. Our teacher was delighted. She even invented a new grade for us. Extraordinary. We felt extraordinary for our achievement. It wasn't long until we reached the news, on TV, on the internet, and on the paper. Seemed we had made an extraordinary discovery, and I was the one who gets to name those giant mushrooms because I discovered them. I was so excited about all the interviews I was supposed to be in that I started to think about what I was going to say. On the day of the big interview, there were so many microphones in front of me, and so many questions came from each and every one of them. How did you think of that particular place for the expedition? What drove you to explore new territories? How did you discover those giant mushrooms? What were your feelings when you discovered them? What name did you choose for those giant mushrooms? What future plans do you have after this amazing discovery? How do you plan to make this world a better place? It was raining heavily with questions. I didn't even have time to answer them. And suddenly, everybody went silent. It was my turn to speak, and all the world would hear me. All eyes were on me. I took a deep breath and... You're Yoli! You are an awesome Yoli! You are the best Yoli! Thanks for watching until the end. Share to show us that you care.